Hello everybody, it's me Ghost Critic. It's another Thursday, it's a comic book review show day. Before we kick off with this week's reviews, I've got to say it was a very light week. 4 comics pulled on my list, and there would have really only been 3 if it hadn't been for a certain free comic that came out this week. I think we all know which one that was. And when I get short weeks like this, I do tend to browse longer on the shelves to see if there's anything else worth picking up. There really wasn't. Oh my god, a MacGyver first issue? Really? Did anybody pick that up? I suppose it's all kind of holding back all their Marvel Now stuff, and it's coming to the end of the year, so maybe they're all holding it off for the new year as well, and we'll get an influx of new titles from all the companies. I have heard DC have cancelled another 4 of their 52. None of them have affected me on a monthly pull list, but it was quite sad to hear Frankenstein Agent of Shade is being cancelled. I was picking that up in trade and really enjoying it, but that's gone now. I haven't heard anything about what's going to replace them yet. Obviously, one of them is going to be Justice League of America. But if they want to keep the whole 52 going and alive, they've got to find another 3 new titles to bring to the fore. So it'll be interesting to see what new characters they're going to bring to the new 52 that's not so new anymore. Anyway, you're not here for this, you're here for reviews. Off we go. And we start this week's review show off with a free comic. Yes, no money was exchanged for this. It is, of course, Cyberforce by Marc Silvestri and Matt Hawkins. Now, I know there has been Cyberforce comics in the past. This is volume 4, issue 1. I've never read any Cyberforce before, so I'm completely brand new to this title. So I kind of just dived in. Is it possible to give a fair review to a comic that you've paid no money for? I think so, and I'll do my darndest here. This has been created through a Kickstarter program. Lots of comic book retailers and people who went on the Kickstarter website and donated money so they could bring out this for free. Interesting concept. Was it worth it at the end of the day? I'm thinking not really. How can you quote quality on something that you've not paid for? It's very difficult. If it's bad, then what the hell? I've not paid any money. If it's really good, then I didn't pay any money for it. Brilliant. Unfortunately, Cyberforce is a little bit meh. It didn't really grab me. I didn't think it was bad, but I didn't think it was fantastic. It was your kind of typical dystopian future, dictatorship, a young girl on the run, shown in a kind of flashback. She's in search of a mysterious character. She meets up with our Cyberforce. She's not trusted, and then there's a twist at the end. It's not that brilliant. It really isn't. I was just a bit... let's put it this way. Will I be picking up issue 2? I very much doubt it. I don't even know how much it costs. It could be free again. It held no interest. It was obvious. It was predictable. Until kind of the end, I guess. Our main character may not actually be our main character. That's all I'll say. there really wasn't a lot to say about this, I'm afraid. The artwork's nice enough. It's that 90s kind of feel to it. Nothing original, but it was free. Okay, with Justice League issue 13, here we go. Now, I know a lot of my peers here on YouTube hate this comic with a passion. And respect them if that's how they feel, but I think you're being far too serious about it. This is a fun, entertaining, kind of cheesy blockbuster movie type of comic where you throw all your A-list superheroes in, put them in crazy scenarios and just go along for the ride. There's nothing deep here, although it tries to touch on kind of real human kind of emotions at time, but it's just funny, and it's kind of a guilty pleasure for me now. From the cover we can see it's the introduction of Wonder Woman's, one of Wonder Woman's villains. It's Cheetah, and this issue is basically a backstory of how she is connected with Wonder Woman, how Cheetah became the Cheetah, and how Wonder Woman feels responsible for it. There is this kind of underlying message theme throughout Justice League at the moment where the heroes, or our heroes, are responsible for some quite bad things happening to the people close to them. And I mean, that's an age-old story. You get that all the time in Spider-Man, you get it in Batman. In every title, it's always the closest people to our main heroes that don't fare so well, really. If you remember from issue 12, because we've skipped a month with those pesky 0 issues, Superman and Wonder Woman had that kiss, and it's still awkward. Oh, it's funny to look at, it's funny to read and watch, and kind of Flash and Cyborg, that's not his name, is it? The Cyborg guy. This is how forgettable these kind of issues are, but what the hey. They're in the other room, but the Cyborg guy, he's trying not to listen in to Superman and Wonder Woman's conversation. So he obviously knows what's going on. There's a lot of action in it. We end up in the middle of some Amazonian forest to find Cheetah. Yeah, to find Cheetah. I keep wanting to say Chitara. The similarities are obviously familiar. They want to try and kind of rescue her and remove this curse of the cheetah on this poor woman. And so the team eventually all come together, minus obviously our Green Lantern, who left a while back, because he's, well, they all think he's dead now. Well, at least they don't think he's dead here. Very confusing. But still, I had fun with it. The backup story is really a lead-in to the Justice League of America. It focuses on Steve Trevor having been taken off as liaison to the Justice League and basically been made unemployed. And then our Green Arrow pops up in the bar that he's in as well. And, well, it looks like Justice League of America is starting to be born. I like this comic, I'm sorry. It's not great, it's not high literature, it's just a bundle of fun. Okay, it's serious FaceTime. Yes. We're down to our last 2 comics. One of them has to be pick of the week, and I had to choose one, and it was only just pipped. The next one I'm going to talk about, it could well have been pick of the week. There is absolutely nothing wrong at all with this. In fact, it's a fabulous, fantastic issue. The pick of the week just edged out a little bit, but we'll get to that soon. So what didn't quite make it? Batwoman, issue 13. I just can't get enough of Batwoman, especially when it's J.H. Williams and it's W. Hayden Blackman. I mean, come on. This, I can never get tired of the layouts. I never get tired of the kind of evocative language, the creepiness, all the mythology, the ghost, the supernaturalness of this title. All of it wrapped up. It's just beautiful. So again, issue 13, we've had to wait 2 months for this. Those darned 0 issues broke up this storyline where we had Batwoman and Wonder Woman teaming up to go and find and get back the kids and confront Medusa. The great thing about this, it's not just about going to find the baddies. It's a character-driven story, and how each characters see each other and how most of the time they're being misinterpreted. So we start with Batwoman and Wonder Woman in kind of a submersible going to the bottom of the sea. This is Poseidon's land. And we get the thoughts of Batwoman about Wonder Woman. And then we get the flip side, what Wonder Woman thinks of Batwoman. And it's very telling. I'm not going to spoil it, but the character exposition of it is just really, really rich. Again, this is kind of brought again when you have Uncle Jake and Bette, who's on her way to recovery, and they are in the middle of a meditation session, and you hear their thoughts, and they couldn't be more dislike each other. Bette is in just horrific pain while she's sitting there in this meditative stance, seated on the floor, whatever you want to say. But again, within all this, it doesn't forget the action, the mythological creatures, and we get these wonderful panels from a villain, Nyx, and her or his or its kind of legion of centipedes, and we get more of the ingenuity that Batwoman's gadgets come into play and kind of manage to be able to escape. Again, the panelling, construction from Williams and from well, it is from Williams III. You know, I'm sorry, I just don't get bored of it. I mean, just let's see. I think the light in here today is not very good, but the scene with the centipede, I mean, just looking at it was creepy enough, but then you kind of read the text that goes along with it, and it squirms its way through the centipedes, and it sends shivers up and down your back. Other little tidbits in here, we see the is it the DOA or DEO? The two Chase and the Skull guy talking about the future and how if Batwoman doesn't come back or if she runs, who are they going to kind of manipulate next? And of course they have their eyes on Bette, Thunderbird. And then we finish off with meeting up with almost meeting up, being introduced to one of Medusa's sons. We've already met Falchion in the last story arc, and now we are going to meet a rather rotten character called Pegasus. Just an amazing, amazing issue. Loved it. So go and see what's pick of the week. I really had to give Daredevil pick of the week this week. It was just amazing. Mark Waid, Chris Samnee have just lifted this title from kind of this dark, depressing, heap everything on top of Matt Murdock and make him the most miserable person alive, to this kind of harkening back to kind of their Silver Age fun kind of superheroics, but they haven't forgotten about, you know, the kind of dual Matt Murdock's life and Daredevil's life, the clashes that that come with this and how it affects all the people around them. Yes, in this issue we finally find out who has been behind all the strange kind of weirdness that's been going on around Matt Murdock and Daredevil's life. Him seeing things that aren't really there, him not seeing things that are there, and it's our new character called Coyote, but he's not so new, and Mark Waid just throws you for a loop. I just did not see this, and he's taken us right back to the beginning of his run on this new volume of Daredevil. Big clue. So yes, Matt Murdock eventually, after going off to see Hank Pym to make sure that his strange kind of mental, what seems to be a mental breakdown, isn't medical or scientific based, and it's at this point that he realises who our big bad is, and kind of in his own words, a kind of joke villain, a very much C-list, has upped their game to a very dangerous A-lister. And if we have Matt Murdock Daredevil worried, then we should be very worried too. Just amazing, just amazing. In the last issue I gave my serious doubts about Foggy. I didn't think he could be any worse of a friend to Matt, and he may think his heart's in the right place here, but he just goes way too far in this issue, revealing the identity to completely the wrong person. So much good stuff in this issue. Deservedly pick of the week. If you haven't been collecting Daredevil with Mark Waid at the helm, please go back, pick up the trades, catch up. Great series. Worth it. Very, very much worth it.